Hey YouTube, it's June. I'm here another video, and this is old, but I got this on Thanksgiving break, and I never really did the video. My uncle gave it to me December 1st, 2013 edition of the Lexington Herald, and this it has Mick Foley because it was promoting his comedy show that was on the 4th. Sadly, I wasn't able to attend because you had to be 18 to get into the comedy club, but Mick Foley uses his past as WWE wrestler as fodder for his comedy act. Mick Foley wrestled with his comedy act until it fell into place. This was written by some Blake Hannon. There are plenty of wrestling fans who probably would like to see Mick Foley, hardcore wrestling icon and former WWE superstar, hoist gold above his head again. The pain he's endured in countless brutal matchups, particularly his famous Hell in a Cell match versus The Undertaker, and characters he's embodied, including Cactus Jack Doolove, the mentally unstable Mankind. Fans still see Foley put his body through extreme circumstances in a quest for a championship, just not in the way you might expect. I put it out there that I was going for the title one more time, and wrestling fans were clearly. And I think the rest of it is in here. E5. Holy crap, there's a lot of stuff. Let me flip it over. I didn't even know it had all this. I thought it was just on the front page. Just a second, let me set it down while I can straighten it out. Here it is. There it is, picture him. In addition to doing stand-up comedy, WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley continues to tout the sport and has written books that have been bestsellers. Let me plug in my iPod before it dies real quick. Right beside my computer at the cord. This is a lot of stuff. I guess this is continuing. Is clearly disappointed. I was talking about the fruitcake. Foley said the man who arguably has taken more punishment in the squared circle than anyone walking the planet will be competing in the international fruitcake eating competition in Santa Claus in Indiana. Needless to say, Foley's daily duties have changed, but shoveling holiday sweets into his mouth in the spirit of friendly competition is just one-time occurrence. When he's not writing best-selling books, best-selling memoirs, children's books, and generally serving as a worldwide ambassador for WWE, Foley, 48, takes the crazy stories from his nearly 3 decades in the wrestling business and brings them to the comedy club across the country. He comes to the Comedy Off-Broadway in Lexington for a one-night stand this week. Foley became interested in performing these types of shows after numerous college speaking engagements. When those started to dwindle, he hooked up with 30 Rock actor Judah Friedlander to hash out a comedy set and beginning performing on stage in 2009. But where most comedians have to work tirelessly to come up with seamless 5 to 7 minutes set to get their foot in the door at comedy clubs, Foley's problem was the opposite. If a phone rang and I was offered a 4-minute slot on the Today Show, I wouldn't know what to do. Foley said, I have thus far not been able to put an accurate label on what I do. Foley would go on to earn critical acclaim performing at prestigious comedy festivals like Just for Laughs in Montreal and the Edinburgh Fringe Fest in Scotland. It was in Montreal that he acquired an agent to book him in clubs, but it was also where he came one step closer to finding his strengths as a comedic performer. I saw there were hundreds of funnier people in the same hotel. Foley said it was my stories that made me unique. As soon as I accepted that I was the wrestling guy, the shows immediately became better and more rewarding. Generally speaking, Foley's shows entertain on the more humorous parts of his wrestling career, with a few other topics woven in. It's more spoken word than set up punchline with each performance. Foley tries to personalize the experience by touching on the physical injuries and absurd circumstances that have taken place when he's wrestled in each location. I try to think of occurrences that took place in particular cities to give each stop a unique show. He said, alright, I'm back. My brother's being way freaking too loud. I'll start it off with this part. I try to think of occurrences that took place in particular cities to give each stop a unique show. He said, anyone who read my books know I had a unique journey and an unlikely journey. I had to keep my eyes and ears open to appreciate the surreal circumstances of people and places around me. Foley continues to get rave reviews and positive crowd feedback when he performs, both from hardcore wrestling fans and the women who often get dragged to see this show. Foley said that even though he is no longer diving off his steel cage or getting slammed on thumbtacks, getting laughs in this intimate setting is its own thrill. It's so close to the way I felt when I was inside the ring, especially on nights that it's going well, really well, but without the bumps and bruises, Foley said. As long as there are faces in the crowd, they are responding. I feel like I'm in the middle of Madison Square Garden. And right here it says Mick Foley. It says if you go Mick Foley, Kyle Shortbus, Kincaid, December 4th, 7 p.m. Comedy Broadway Center, $25 tickets. I wanted to go, but I wasn't old enough to get into the show, so I wasn't able to see it. I would have definitely went because I wanted to see it, and you get a meet and greet. And I asked him on Twitter how old do you have to be, and he replied, he said to call the place, and you have to be 18. So yeah, he like DM'd me. It was pretty cool. But yeah, that's my video on Mick Foley and the Lexington Herald. I just want to do a video on that, reading you the article. And yeah, that's about it. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Bye.